Davis, things got a little interesting. Final seconds there. What were you guys seeing as you held on to get this win?
We had to get back and play some defense. They're a team who's looking for their first home victory. We're a team who like to win on the road and establish a road-winning culture. The team is young, even though they're missing, their two best players, and Ja and JJ. They're going to continue to fight. Yeah, that's what they did all the way to the buzzer sound. Me and Brian had 2 turnovers where they, got fouled in on both plays. So, and then we had a miscommunication call on the 3 with Dylan Brooks. So we got to get better late game, but this team is scrappy. They're a young team who's hungry. Like I said, looking for their first home victory, and we was able to pull it off.
One thing that you guys seem to take pride in, you and LeBron, is making plays on both ends in crunch time, which separates you perhaps even from several other stars. We saw that again in the 4th tonight. AD, what is that mindset like where you both have to make sure you're getting the buckets on offense, but then be the guys that can make the plays on the other end?
Yeah, that's what your stars have to do on your team. Buckle down on both ends of the floor. Ron with that big-time block. I had a block as well. Going to the line, making free throws on the other end, making plays for ourselves, for others. That's what it's about. We want to be a good team. Obviously, the team is going to lean on both of us, on both ends of the floor, and we're able to do it both ends, especially late game.
AD, last thing for you. Now, I'm sure you're not familiar with this stat, but you rank 9th all-time in games with at least 3 blocks and 3 steals. It's some pretty good company. Guys like Hakeem and Robinson up there on that list. What do you see there in tonight? Again, you're able to get so many deflections and be able to protect the rim like that.
It's activity. Getting my activity back high. Our team leads and goes defensively as far as I go, and I got to be the one to bring that activity each and every night, and was able to do that tonight. With my activity, getting deflections and protecting the rim. It carries on and trickles down to our other guys. Brian doing it, Trez doing it, Mark. Dennis is getting steals, and Kuz and West. So all our guys, Markeith, protecting the rim. So we all playing our part. But I take pride in making sure that from the opening tip, I try to make sure that I go out there and bring that energy on the defensive end with deflections and blocks.
All right, Anthony, 4-0 road trip. Time to get on that plane back to LA, man.
Oh man, yes, please.
All right, appreciate it.
I think they were trying to go at halftime, but they had to kind of finish this game. Most games with 3 blocks and 3 steals. Rob, we wanted to show you this because your former teammate, one of your favorite guys in the world, Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream, he's done this 204 times.
Wow.
Put that into perspective. Anthony Davis is 9th on the all-time list. He's done it. And Trudell working the post-game locker room. We'll be hearing from everyone shortly. Guys, the Lakers kind of similar to Game 1 against Memphis. Messed around a little bit. They only scored 94 points. By the way, that's the lowest they've scored this season. The low coming into this game was the Portland loss at 107. But just like they have in the past, they found a way to get it done. When you have the 2 best players on the court, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that's going to happen on most nights. They sweep the road trip. They go to 4-0 on the road and 6-2 overall, James.
Yeah, and, throughout 72 games this year, you're probably going to have a few games like that. Spend a little time in San Antonio, then you go into Memphis where you got to stay, longer than you've ever stayed, back-to-back games. I know they got some good barbecue in Memphis, too. I probably would have had me a couple slabs of ribs, kind of slow me down. But
how much for just one rib?
You're going to have those type of games. I mean, Memphis is a team without their star player. That automatically makes everybody else energy, play better, and they're up. It was a sloppy first half. Lakers turned the ball over too much. Didn't get to the free throw line like they usually do. Only 11 attempts at the free throw line. The bench production has been lacking a little bit because of players, not being available. So it's just one of those games, but it just goes to show you, like you said, the superiority that they have, that they can put their 2 big guns and close the game out.
Rob, I know I've had you talk about this before. Fish talked about it the other night as well. You guys have been on great teams that have repeated and won championships. Sometimes there are nights where, you got to admit it, it's hard to motivate, but you just know you're better than that team. And sometimes you flip that switch at the end. We kind of saw that tonight. It's dangerous. I know the fans don't love it, but tonight we saw it.
It's very dangerous because a turnover, as you see at the end of the game, 2 crucial turnovers right there, 3-point there. And you don't want to play with teams like this because anytime you get a team like this, it gives them so much confidence that first quarter, second quarter, next thing you know, you're in the fourth quarter, and you're in a position that you don't want to be in. But the Lakers was grinding it out. They did what they needed to do, and they locked guys down the stretch. And that's the true sign of a championship team, to be able to lock in when need be.
Took the words out of my mouth. Sunday, they held Memphis to just 40 points in the second half. Tonight, 43 points. So they did it with defense and then turned it on at the end. Another big night from AD, 26 and 10, par for the course. He's with Mike Trudell.
Thank you, Billy and Stu. Not their best half of basketball.
There's a quick start, first 3 minutes start, but we talked about how it's hard to beat teams back-to-back. Turnovers, 10 turnovers in the first half. That kind of sloppy. Memphis in the game.
Low percentage shooting threes, both teams are pretty much equal. You know, this is one of those games like, okay, who's going to go on the hot streak? Who's going to do what they need to do? But what I like best is they're grinding out and they stand in the game right now. They'll be all right for the second half.
Memphis had a 17-4 run in the first quarter and a 14-5 run in the second quarter. So Lakers got to be careful of that. Jack in the Box halftime report. Start right after this. Hello, again, alongside James Worthy, Robert Ory. I'm Chris McGee. This is the Jack in the Box halftime report. Let's get you out to Memphis to 45, the lowest scoring half of basketball, first or second half of the season for the Lakers. Down 49-45. Anthony Davis with 12 points and 5 of 9. More to come in the Jack in the Box halftime report. AD and the Lakers have some work to do if they're going to sweep the road trip. They trail the Grizz by 4 at the half.
NBA history, but that hasn't stopped LeBron and AD from playing at a high level. LeBron has played in all 7 games this season, but at a career low 32 minutes. AD has only missed 1 game, and his 33 minutes is down from his career average. Both guys are still averaging over 20 points and 8 boards. Frank Vogel spoke about LeBron's workload yesterday after practice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him a blow so he doesn't play the whole fourth quarter, and he keeps making big plays. It's tough to take him out. So, we were able to find a spot, to get him a rest so we don't overdo it in the fourth. But he was terrific, you know what I mean? He knew what he wanted to go to in terms of the action that he wanted to exploit in their defense. And, we kept putting him in that action, and he delivered, big shots, big plays with the pass, and, obviously, brought us home offensively during that, that fourth quarter.
I continue to take care of my body and take care of my mind to be able to endure whatever the case may be. And obviously the short layoff, the 71 days between, us finishing and having to get back re-going, it definitely put a monkey wrench into my usual regimen of rest in my body and then getting back and going full, hard core on my training. I didn't really have that opportunity to kind of shut down my body and then go and revamp my body and get ready for the season. It just wasn't enough time. So, being able to, it's a fine line now where how much we push, how much rest, and also stay in good rhythm, because we have built, myself and our team, we built so much great rhythm in the bubble that, want to try to continue that as much as we can. So, for me, it's always about just having my mind and my body fresh. And if my mind is sharp, then I can go out and do whatever I need to do on the floor, and if it's not, then it hurts not only myself, but it hurts our team. So, that's the most important for me.
LeBron yet to sit out a game this year, playing a career low 32. AD, of course, missed that 1 game. He's playing 33. Rob, you like the way Frank Vogel's handling their minutes?
Oh, I love it because you got to think about it. Shortened offseason. This guy's been in the league for 1,000,000 years. He's been to the playoffs 1,000,001 times. So he has a lot of miles on his body. So for him to load management within the game is the best thing for him because you don't want him to sit out because certain players, when they sit out, they kind of lose that rhythm. And plus with this team, they have a golden opportunity to be in a position to have the best record in the NBA. And we all know what happens with the best record in the NBA. You get home court advantage because who knows what protocol is going to be this year with COVID-19.
Yeah, it's nice to see that, they're relying on other people. If I'm not mistaken, I think they took LeBron out with 5 minutes or so to go in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
The other night, and I was like, that's never happened before.
Yeah, it's a little different rotations than what we're used to.
Even though they were winning the game, but still, you have your closer. Mm-hmm. It's nice to see that Vogel saying, okay, Shooter can hit big shots. We needed a 3. Obviously AD can, but it's nice to see that, like Rob said, the load management is coming within the game, when he's